violence in Nepal will disturb both the countries. And the major concern for both the countries could be active presence of Americans and Europeans. That could be, because when the Americans come here, it is not for Nepal. They have very few less interest in Nepal. Less, but they want to watch China and India from Nepal.
People's Reviews Chief Editor Pushparaj Pradhan, sir. Welcome to the Gorkha Spirit.
Thank you very much.
How do you see the former king Gyanendra Saha's visit in India?
There is something, something should be there, I believe, because he has gone to Siliguri, and perhaps he might have met some Indian leaders or Indian officers there, and he might have talked about the situation in Nepal. I believe so.
So, why Indians are interested in former king Gyanendra Saha at this time?
Look, on September 8 and 9, we saw very bloody unrest. Around 76 people were killed, and out of them 45 were Gen Z activists. So it's a horrible situation, and we have a open border with India. If anything happens in Nepal, that will obviously affect India, and we cannot say that whether whether tomorrow, if there will be another Gen Z uprising in India, and as we have open border, people see the situation here, and that can be shifted to India immediately. So there can be a possibility of Gen Z uprising in India also, because we saw this in our region, in Bangladesh, in Sri Lanka. So that can be happen in India. So India might have been cautious with this situation in Nepal.
So they believe that the king will stop all these interference.
Maybe they have different choices, and one choice could be restoration of monarchy to control the situation. And we also believe that without restoration of monarchy, the situation cannot be controlled, and the situation will become more worse than today. So India might have felt this type of threat. Not only India, I think China should have also felt such type of threat, because we have common borders with China and India as well. So both the countries should have felt, and they should have reviewed the situation. How was the situation during the monarchy days, and how is the situation during this Republican days? In absence of monarchy, how Nepal has been, deteriorated and destroyed. They might have studied, in depth, I think.
In the past, we often heard that India use his it's kind of a micromanagement. So now the American influence is too big. that India cannot stop them. That's why they need the monarchy. It is often talked now. So, do you think that's the situation for
No,
India?
no, maybe our both neighbors they have a common concern that stability in Nepal and stability plus peace. Violence in Nepal will disturb both the countries. And the major concern for both the countries could be active presence of Americans and Europeans. That could be, because when the Americans come here, it is not for Nepal. They have very few less interest in Nepal. Less, but they want to watch China and India from Nepal. So they want to play against China and India from Nepal, like in on that Genje uprising, we saw Tibetan blood, original Tibetan blood youths. We saw, those youths were Tibetan from the Tibetan community. And if such a trend will increase, that is not tolerable for China. That will be harmful for Nepal as well. So when America comes here to form a government, Dalai Lama extends greetings to this government. China, do you think that China has remained silent? So both the neighbors they have become alert, and we should be more cautious, more serious on these issues. Otherwise, will become, a new Ukraine.
At the formation of this government, we often heard about Lanchor Indian embassy, but we didn't listen anything about the China and its embassy in Nepal. So why it's
China. China, until now, I have felt that, China doesn't take any offensive move, has not taken, I should say, has not taken any offensive move in Nepal. They are defensive. They are closely watching and monitoring the situation, and they never instruct who should be the minister, who should be the prime minister. This sort of things they never, they do not involve in such a type of micromanagement. They just
they still believe in silence diplomacy, yes?
no, they are also changing on their interest. They will not go back. If they are hurt, then they will immediately react. Otherwise, they will remain silent. Even when Dalai Lama congratulated the government, the Chinese side didn't react, but they might have seriously watching the situation here, development here.
So China and India is working together to stop the American influence in Nepal. If I say so, is it true?
Maybe I think India should have been thought about this point, this issue, but China is watching, and China is just taking a defensive move, or just closely watching the situation. I don't think China has given any instruction to president or prime minister or else. You know, but India should have given message to president and even prime minister.
So at the end, what's your suggestions to the Nepalese politicians to tackle this situation?
Nepali politicians should understand the worst situation of the day. So they should realize, if they are patriotic, they love Nepal. If they want, a sovereign, independent Nepal, then they should accept the concept of all sector roundtable conference, and then they should decide, for which system should be better for Nepal. That they should decide from this roundtable. I believe so.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Welcome very much.